If you wanted to mute yourself, that's fine. If you're sure you're not going to have a loud noise in the background, that's fine too. So I'm Rachel Mallows. I am the founder director of Made in Northamptonshire, and this is a bit of a story about kind of where Made in Northamptonshire has gone to, what it's doing at this moment in time, and where it's going in the future, I hope. And we're celebrating 10 years this year, which is really exciting. But the essence of this, in the spirit particularly of the Festival of Enterprise, is to kind of look at food and drink businesses. And in the last recession, it was found that more people kind of started businesses in this sort of sector than many others. So it's worth considering and looking at for those of you that might be thinking of doing it or talk to people who do. And those like members of the Jays family who are on today, kind of just thinking about the work and celebrating the work that they do to support our local food and drink producers. So my two themes really are around the importance of buying local and also definitely to encourage you and to encourage others that if they're thinking of starting a business, there's a huge amount of support and encouragement in Northamptonshire for it to be a food and drink business. And in order to do that, you need to know why you're doing it. Why are you wanting to do it? What your driving force is for doing it. So I'm going to take us through a few slides as I'm talking and give you a bit of background. So this great quote from William Sitwell, which I'll let you read, sort of emphasises where we were in kind of pre-COVID times, with demonstrable growth in GVA for the food and drink sector locally, one of the fastest growing subsectors in the region, but also across the country for food and drink, which is really remarkable. And Made in Northamptonshire started because we had worked with Northamptonshire Enterprise Partnership, undertaking research on the sector, and the sector was just starting to grow. So this was about 14 years ago. And from that piece of research, we decided, with the help of the local enterprise partnership, to set up the Northamptonshire Food and Drink Awards. And after a couple of years of running that, we realised that we'd got great producers and we'd got great restaurants and pubs, but they didn't necessarily communicate with each other and know each other. And the past 10, 15 years, there's been a real emphasis on provenance. Where does your food come from? Do you know who makes it? And that kind of thing. So Made in Northamptonshire started as a direct result of those awards, which I'll talk about a bit later. Really, we haven't looked back. So it's a multi-stakeholder cooperative, and our members then have a say in what we do and the direction of where we're going. We don't make a profit from that perspective. We're here solely to support the sector, which makes us a bit unusual. But what we do celebrate is this real entrepreneurial spirit of our food and drink businesses. And I hope you'll enjoy hearing a few stories about that. And I brought this quote up from William because he became a patron of the awards. And I think it was the first year that he was patron, we sent him a hamper that was full of Gary Bradshaw's Hampton Fine Foods cheese. And as a direct result of that, William wrote an amazing article in the Telegraph, not the Evening Telegraph, the national newspaper, talking about how wonderful the cheese was. And now this evening, for example, we're showing at 7 o'clock the next 3 categories in our food and drink awards. And his wife has opened a deli in Long Buckby and won bronze in the F&B Achiever of the Year, and she's a finalist for Local Food Hero this evening. So if you've never tried one of Gary's Little Berties, which sounds a bit peculiar me saying it, but if you've never tried one of those, I'd heartily recommend you doing so and going out of your way to do so. So, in relation to why we set it up, it was around meeting this need of making those connections. And what does Made in Northamptonshire do? Well, there's a whole list of things that we're involved in, but in essence, we're a business support network with a real passion to put Northamptonshire on the food and drink map. And what makes this county really unique is the support from large businesses to support smaller ones. So when we talk to producers in the counties that border Northamptonshire, they all say that they've got nothing quite like it. And I've got examples. Carlsberg, for example, a few years ago, gave some particular technical support to a local microbrewery, which was a direct result of this kind of connectivity that we try to provide. And I'll pick out with this slide in particular, Friars Farm. Steve Reed, a former local food hero, builds on the strengths of Made in Northamptonshire to make connections and to move things forward. And I'll talk a bit about that later on, actually, in the context of Jays. So you can see here that we work with a number of businesses. We provide a directory, we have quarterly meetings. There is a kite mark. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary year this year, and so we're having our own 10th anniversary labels produced for those producers who want to put it on their products and drinks. And we do a lot of kind of referrals. And I think this driving force of understanding the importance of local is really vital. The point of local is really around reducing food miles, keeping jobs in the area, keeping our skills local, and ensuring that more money is retained in the local economy. There was a toolkit prepared looking at the impact of local spend, and it was carried out in Northumberland County Council, showing, and this is particularly staggering really, that for every £1 spent with a local supplier, it's worth about £1.76 to the local economy. So that is just phenomenal, and that's because usually our local suppliers have local supply chains, and so the money's retained through that and other avenues such as jobs and packaging and other aspects. But local food can also be healthier. You can get to meet the producers directly. You can find out where they get their raw ingredients from. You understand the provenance. It's good for the environment. But all of this work is underpinned by other things such as our Food and Drink Awards, and also we're able to support startups with a feast. So Feast 2 can provide funding if you're a food and drink manufacturer, technical advice and mentoring. So what do we do? Well, in 2019, there were over 25 food and drink festivals across the county. And for those that can remember back to when Min started, there was only the one at Holdenby really at that time. But if you're a foodie, it's the place to go to find great things, because usually producers will have tasters, free tasters. And here's a picture just demonstrating that it's a family affair. My son's on there being roped in to help out at a food and drink festival. You'll also see under quarterly events, that's a picture of our business meeting being held at Carlsberg one Christmas. And in the middle, we went down to the Houses of Parliament. At the back here, I don't know whether you can see my mouse, is Mohammed from Zacco. This is a non-alcoholic spirit brand with an amazing heritage in herbal remedies dating back to ancient Persia. A real taste of the legendary Spice Road. And so for those of us who are vegans and vegetarians, it's suitable for them, as well as being free from alcohol, sugar, sweeteners, calories, gluten, carbs, fats, flavourings and extracts. So it's a great alternative to alcohol. Of course, I'm not delivering this in dry January, am I? So, but really recommend having a look at all of the producers that I'm going to talk about. And don't take my word for it, picking up on Ian Horton, who talks about the importance of min. Um, he produces a mild goat's milk ice cream. They were the first ice cream company in the UK to use biodegradable and compostable packaging. He won a silver in our awards this year, and you may have seen him if you were watching Countryfile at the weekend. A lovely piece with his dog Ted. So just before COVID, 2019 was the year of food and drink for Northamptonshire Surprise, and we've got an amazing video that showcases our producers here. And we've been doing, and we're looking to do, greater coverage regionally and nationally for our local produce and drink. And here's one in the Tatler showing Phipps gin. Phipps were brought back after a century of brewing in 2008 with the restoration of the Albion Brewery. So rightfully in this national magazine, with some other things that Northamptonshire has got to be proud of. And what have we been doing well, since COVID, really? One thing, and I'm pleased because I think Annamarie's joined us, we, through the generosity of East Northampton Council, the Recovery Through Enterprise programme, and Crown Estates, we were able to open for just under 2 weeks before Christmas, and we'll be reopening when we can very soon. We have had 35 producers in there. I've got a waiting list of people that want to go in as well, and that was with about 280 products in there. So please do look out for it if you've not been there before. And I know we've got a colleague from the Recovery Through Enterprise programme on the Zoom this morning. It is very close to the cinema, so if you head down that end and look out for our social media, we'll be announcing when we're reopening. And if I can pick out another couple of producers, one you can see quite clearly, and that's Warner's. So Warner's launched at a Made in Northamptonshire meeting in 2012 on their beautiful family farm. Their saying is they want to save the world from mediocre gin, and I think they do that, and quite rightly can claim to be the first in the pink gin craze with their rhubarb gin. And like Farrington Oils, another great brand building their reputation from Northamptonshire, Mellow Yellow was the first food product to be certified as both carbon and plastic neutral. So we may think of small producers being those that are doing things at home, very artisan, but actually even within our small producers, they're looking ahead, they're looking at sustainability, they're looking at a whole host of things, which is driven by their passion and their dedication. And they have a real sense of purpose around that. So we're thrilled to be working with Destination Nen Valley on this site, and moving forward in the future. So more of the future to come. And this year, what have we done? Well, we are so pleased to be celebrating with Jay's, opening up a Made in Northamptonshire at Jay's. They celebrate 40 years this year. We celebrate 10 years. It seemed like a perfect collaboration. Made in heaven, potentially, but that's been really good, and everything's going well with that, and perhaps we'll hear about that at the end. We're looking at public procurement opportunities, so nationally, the spend on food and drink within hospitals, prisons and schools is about 2.4 billion. So there are real opportunities for local there. We're working hard nationally and regionally to do that, and also with the sustainable food organisations being set up in the west and the north. And I'm delighted to say that we're moving forward with a new Made in Northamptonshire directory with Destination Nen Valley. So lots on the go at the moment. And what next? So here's an idea that has kind of cropped up over the past 5 years, believe it or not. this idea of having some menu cards, some recipe cards where we've got a recipe, we're using local ingredients, and from that perspective, we're also demonstrating where you can buy those local ingredients. This is a mock-up, obviously. The veggie table doesn't exist, or does Quiche Me Quick, but this is an idea where you would know where to buy them, but you'd also be directed to those eateries where you could actually eat out and have them. So we've put that forward for several funding initiatives. I've got no doubt that will happen in the future. In fact, some things are moving forward with that and supporting people who are in receipt of food parcels, for example. So the stories that I've told you and a little bit of background to how we started, I think are to do with the fact that this is about those individuals that we can be rightly proud of in the county that move forward. So they quit talking and they start doing, with this great Walt Disney quote. I hope I've demonstrated that there is a real passion from people and a real desire to know where food comes from, and also to be able to buy it, talk to producers, and make a difference to our health, our taste, and the local economy at the same time. So if you know anybody who is thinking of starting a business, then please tell them to get in touch, because we can help. And please look out for the range of things that we're planning to do over the course of this year. That was a really quick, swift jump through with some examples of what we've been doing. It'd be great to have some questions. I could rabbit on for about 12 hours, so not the 20-minute version. But I wonder, Pip, if you want to say a few words about how things are going at Jay's, would that be good? Or if Anna does, or Georgina does? You'll need to come off mute, though.
Yeah, is Mum on? Because I think she's got something prepared. Is she on? If not, I can do it.
Is she down as user? Is that likely to be her name?
I don't think she can get her voice heard, which is
okay.
So you go for it, Pip.
Well, Anna, you go, because I was isolating when we opened Min. So you do it.
Right. So yeah, basically it's been fabulous. The feedback has been great. Shop's looking really good, and we keep moving things. But lots of customers kind of coming in. Obviously not as many as we would hope, because we can't shout about it as much as we want, because we've got to be safe, haven't we? But for I think for the situation we're in, I don't think we could have asked for it to be any better. Lots of great feedback. So yeah, all good. And hopefully it will just get better.
Fantastic. That's brilliant.
And also, Rachel, just to add that, going back to our early relationship with Min, it was sort of 2019 when we won the coffee shop award. And since then, we've probably taken on between 10 to 15 local producers within the menu as well. So that really stepped us up a gear for, both from the coffee shop point of view, but also for local producers to have their product within our menu was a real game changer for us as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. And I think that's the thing, is because actually, as when we go out to eat, we do want to know. We do want to know where food comes from. We do want to feel that we're supporting people. I don't know whether Louise, Lottie, or Jane, or Annamaria want to kind of add anything to that. Whether you'd class yourself as foodies, whether you look out for local things.
Hi, Rachel. It's Annamaria.
Hi, Annamaria.
Hello. Yes, I will.
You do.
It's absolutely wonderful. The feedback that we've had about the shop has just been tremendous. Anybody walking in, some people haven't actually expected that variety and the choice has been displayed. within the actual shop. So I think that's been an absolute credit, and your team are fantastic as well. So they're very knowledgeable. They work well with people. We're all definitely people, people that we definitely all love food. We kept saying things like, oh, have you tried this? Oh, have you tried that? I mean, I've probably tried absolutely everything. There's not one thing I haven't tried. I think the only thing I didn't try was the gin, the non-alcoholic gin, but there you go.
Yeah.
But absolutely fantastic, Rachel. Really, really pleased. Yes, the feedback has been amazing, and we've enjoyed having that collaboration together. So long may it continue. But yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts from anyone? Did you know about Made in Northamptonshire before today? Louise, what about you? Well, you did through Recovery Through Enterprise, didn't you?
Yes, I did know about it. I'm relatively new and I'm working on a different project at the moment, so I needed to come into. I unfortunately haven't been involved in the shop yet. It's been closed since I've been involved. So, but hopefully, I will.
Yeah,
good. Rachel, I thought it would be great because as soon as we're able to open the shop, Louise will be joining us. So
fantastic.
I thought it would be lovely for her to get an overview of exactly what you do and what, all the great things that are to come. So yeah, so great to have Louise on board.
Yeah, fantastic. And may I ask, Lottie or Jane or both of you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the products are definitely helping with Recovery Through Enterprise in terms of it creates a bit more of a relaxed environment in the store. So those that I sort of explained before on a previous podcast that how people can come in and have a browse if they're not necessarily sure about picking a specific date and time to go into a job centre or something like that. And they can sort of casually browse, obviously supporting local producers while they're doing so, which is fantastic. And then gives us the opportunity to sort of share our bit as well. So I think it's working really well together.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And Jane?
Hi there. I am aware of MIN, but like Louise, I've been involved in the Enterprise Centre. So I'm bringing myself up to speed with what's going on. I'm very interested, and hopefully I will be able to get down to Rushden Lakes as a
fantastic.
Wayne.
Fantastic. So the nature of kind of finding out what producers are doing and seeing how we can support them is also quite important. I mean, I didn't go through everything on that slide of what we do, but that's what we try to do, make connections with people. But then actually people are just amazing. So the businesses that are involved are amazing. They're mainly very generous with their support of one another, introducing people. MIN members have shared contacts, they've done group buying together, all kinds of things. And I hope Made in Northamptonshire is an example of where you've got a platform to set things off, and then you have to let things run and support and encourage it, because this really is quite a movement.